Don't listen to my words. Just look into my eyes. I need a cough drop or a Ricola or something. Everyone has a dark side. And in this video, I'm gonna go over the dark side of the air signs and the best way to counterbalance that energy when you are faced with an air sign who is expressing this part of who they are. You mostly wanna focus on the sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign placement for this video. So no more wasting time. Here are the dark sides of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Let's go. Okay, now when it comes to the dark side of the zodiac, this just means the parts of our personality that we express when we aren't working from the most authentic version of who we are. Meaning when we are not making decisions from the source of our higher selves, when we are making decisions from our ego, out of fear, pettiness, etc. And as human beings, the imperfect creatures that we are, there are for sure going to be moments where we do show this side of our personality. And when it comes to astrology, there are certain traits that the signs in each element have in common. And when it comes to the dark side of the zodiac, this darkness may manifest a bit differently in each sign, but it's rooted in the same type of personality trait based on the element. And with the air signs, their dark side comes from their power of verbal manipulation. Now, this doesn't mean that the other elements don't do this at all. It just means that out of the four elements, when it comes to the air signs, this is pretty much what you will most likely get when they are operating from their negative traits, also known as the dark side. So, verbal manipulation. When I say that, I mean things that you say or that you don't say in order to manipulate a situation. So when it comes to Gemini, the dark side of Gemini comes out when they have said one thing very specifically at one moment in time, and then when a situation comes up where it is in their favor to deny that perspective and take a different angle on it, then they go hard and deny that they ever said it, that it ever happened, and will do their best to put the blame on you. I love Geminis, and most of the time their intention is to just live and let live and have a good old time in the process. But when push comes to shove and they need to save their own butt, they do have it in them to look you straight in the face and just deny whatever it is that they need to deny in order to put themselves in whatever light they want to be seen in. So if you find yourself experiencing the dark side of a Gemini, whatever you do, don't try and prove to them that they are wrong or that they are lying to you. I know it will be tempting, but you will just buy yourself a ticket to the crazy house because they will do their best to make it seem like you are the one losing your mind. So instead of that, instead of trying to prove them wrong and say this is exactly what you said and when you said it, instead of that, and this will be hard, but instead of that, just take a deep breath and say to them, okay, let's let this go, and then say to them, just so I'm clear, when it comes to this topic, meaning whatever topic it is that's in question, say to them, when it comes to this topic, what is your honest position on it? This way, I can make sure and hear you clearly, and I know that this is your stance. This way you stay away from any debate, you don't tempt them to double down on the deceit, and you get clarity in the present moment and moving forward. Now, in order to do your best to keep this from happening again, when something comes up that really matters to you and you are asking your Gemini their opinion on it, or if you're asking them to commit to something, whatever it is, just say to them, do I have your word on this? And also repeat it back to them. Just say, let me be clear, this is what you're saying, and do I have your word on this? Because this is something that really means a lot to me, how you genuinely feel, and I want to make sure that I don't get it wrong. And you can request from them to let you know if some point in the future their perspective or their stance changes, that you would really appreciate it if they let you know when it changes. This way you set it up to let your Gemini know that you aren't trying to fight, you are just trying to make sure that you have the trust and consistency with them that is necessary to have a strong relationship. This isn't something that I'm saying all Geminis do, it's just when they're working from the dark side. Now Libras, and remember, with the air signs, the darkness is rooted in their power of verbal manipulation. Now with Libras, it's tricky because it's not what they say, it's what they don't say. At their best, a Libra is going to be direct and honest when it comes to how they truly feel about things, but when they are not operating from their higher self, Libras are known to lie by omission. Now, some people don't even believe that lying by omission is a thing, but the truth is, if you feel a certain way about someone and you're not telling them, and that information would be useful to them. Like for example, you are turned off or irritated by something that they've said or done, and in addition to that, you are representing that everything is okay, that is for sure not honest. And it's not honest because you're leaving out information that would be very useful for the other person to understand the entire picture. This unsaid information would be very necessary to them in terms of them knowing the facts and being able to make decisions accordingly based on the facts. Now, this doesn't mean that if you don't tell someone every single thought you're having, that you're doing them wrong or that you're lying necessarily. That isn't the case at all. But if you are a Libra and you know you feel one way about someone or about something that they did, and you're in a relationship with them and they're under the impression that you feel differently and you are allowing them to believe something that you know isn't true because as a Libra, you hate confrontation or you just want to see what happens or see what else they do in this area, then yes, that is omitting information in order to allow someone to believe something that you know is not true. They are believing everything is cool with you and it's not. So there is some level of dishonesty there, Libras. Now, if you have a Libra in your life, the best way to counterbalance this energy and get the most out of the relationship is, number one, let your Libra know, hey, I'm the type of person who likes to know the truth, even if the truth is painful. So if there's ever anything that you're feeling and you're not telling me because you don't want to hurt my feelings, then please tell me anyway. I would rather have hurt feelings than to be living a lie. Also, whenever you are interacting with a Libra, it's always important to know, pay much more attention to their actions as opposed to their words because much of the time they're not even sure how they really feel. And like I said, they really do hate confrontation and hurting anyone's feelings. And also remember, I'm not saying all Libras do this, it's just when they're working from the dark side. Is that getting old? A little too much? Okay, now Aquarius. So Aquarius is going to be a combo plate of Gemini and Libra. Aquarius is usually pretty intelligent, so when it suits them to use verbal manipulation or lying by omission or just straight up lying, as in looking you directly in the face and saying something that is not true, well, when they're not operating from their positive traits, this is for sure something an Aquarius can be capable of. We know Aquarians are humanitarians and, like I said, intelligent, and they're problem solvers, and they are all of these things, but if push comes to shove, and they need to work a situation over in order to come out with the results that they desire or to save themselves from some unwanted consequences, then they have been known to straight up deny the truth like a Gemini or avoid certain necessary details like a Libra or tell you a completely outlandish stories with details and the full conviction of an Oscar-worthy performance, so you're thinking to yourself, there's no way they can be lying. And they can do it all right on the spot with no planning and no forethought. It doesn't have to be premeditated. Like I said, Aquarians are super smart and they're quick on their feet too. So don't think that you can shake them up by catching them off guard. They will slip right into whatever manipulation necessary for their agenda. Now, the best way to counterbalance this energy is to make sure that your Aquarius knows that you are open-minded, easygoing, and that you don't freak out when you hear something that you don't like. If an Aquarius believes that you can handle the truth, they will give it to you. But if they think for a moment you're trying to call them out or put them on trial or make them look bad or control them, then you will for sure not get the best version of them. So keep it real with your Aquarius and let them know, like I said with a Libra, that you are the type that prefers the truth, even if it hurts. And also let them know that even when they do something that you don't like, you're just gonna wanna talk it out and work through it and get back to enjoying the relationship. That it doesn't have to be some big blow up. And Aquarius usually is just attempting to avoid drama. And this also comes a bit from Aquarius loving the idea of following their own rules or even making their own rules when it comes to navigating life, and from their desire to make sure that no one is trying to control them. When they are operating from the positive side of their sign, they are some of the most beautiful people on the planet, and I am for sure not saying that all Aquarians lie, but they do lie when they are working from the dark side. So there you have it, the dark side of the air signs with some solutions when it comes to counterbalancing that energy and bringing out the best in them and the relationship. And don't worry, I'm working on the dark side of the fire signs, the earth signs, and the water signs as well. If you have any stories of your experience with air signs and their dark side, please share. I'd love to hear what you guys have gone through in this area. I really hope you all enjoyed the information. If you did, please hit that like button. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.